So I bought this John Deere 955 and it sat outside for at least 10 years from what I could tell. So got it all painted back up, got it running, had to put a new injection pump on it. It was so gummed up with bad fuel. I think it may have been grease. Anyway, got it back together, and at fairly high speeds, there was a rattle coming from underneath. Sounded like from the front axle. So I checked the front, this is a four-wheel drive tractor. Checked the front axle and drained just a little bit of fluid. Looked brand new, what came out of it. So there's no damage in the front axle. So I knew the next thing to check was probably the front drive shaft. The problem is the front drive shaft is obscured by this plastic shield, and you can't tell if it's bent underneath. And what happens with these tractors, a lot of these have a belly mower. Something happens with the belly mower, it gets pushed up into that drive axle. This front drive axle is right under here on the left side of the machine, and that mower deck will get pushed up into it, and you bend that front axle. I've noticed a lot of them used for sale on the internet. By the way, that shield will not come off unless you cut off one end of this axle here. But a lot of them you see on the internet are bent, so it's apparently an issue with these tractors getting the mower decks pushed up into them. You can see how bad this thing's bent. Just bent it all to hell. What's nice is that shaft size is 1 1/4 inches, so you can get 1/8 inch wall, 1 1/4 outside diameter DOM tubing, and we can make a new axle here. It doesn't look to me like this thing was ever balanced, so I don't know if the rotations are low enough on this that it doesn't need to be balanced. We may find it needs to be balanced when we're done, but we can put a new axle in here by cutting these ends off. And so we're going to chop that weld out. We're going to chop right here, flush with the end of this what the hell you call this, the end of this U-joint. This part has a specific name, and we'll cut that off, and then take this U-joint out, and we can either press that out once we cut this down, and I'm going to show you how to do that. We can press that inside out of there. I've already done it on the other side to prove that this can be done. So we're going to take a cutoff wheel. I'm going to put a cutoff wheel on my grinder, then we'll put that flap disc back on. I'll show you all that, and we're going to cut that with a grinder. So here's how you're going to cut this with a grinder. The problem is because of that weld, it's kind of ramped, so it's hard to get that cutoff wheel lined up exactly where you want it. But you don't want to touch this as much as you can avoid it, but you want to get really close to that. You're going to want to get right in there, more like I did on this end. So we're going to work our way around, and then I'll get the flap wheel on and show you how I get it ground down perfectly so you can hammer that out of there. So we got that cut off now, and now we're going to switch over to the flap disc on our grinder, and we're going to grind down on that until we can see the seam between the drive shaft and this U-joint assembly here. And so we'll just work around, work that flat, and as we see that line come up in one section, we'll move over a little bit, and it'll be nice and flat when we're done, because we're going just to the point where we see that seam between the drive shaft and this assembly here. And then we'll disassemble this U-joint. I'm not going to show you how to do that because there's other good videos on disassembling U-joints. One thing I will say, these are internal snap rings, and you will have to take all this out of here in order to hammer from this side, which I'll show you too. But I'll get back with you after I've used the flap disc, and I'll show you that ring, and hopefully that'll show up on camera. So hopefully you can see that seam. Sorry, I'm doing things with one hand here. Right in here, it's just starting to appear. And so I'm going to grind just a hair more on that till that line is a little more defined, and then I'm going to work my way around the rest of it until I can see that line the whole way around. All right, we got that ground all the way down. I'm hoping you can see that line all the way around. It's fairly faint, but it will come up once you've got it ground out. Now we're going to take this U-joint apart. We're going to take those 4 inner snap rings out here, and we're going to take the caps off the U-joint. And like I said, I'm not going through that part because there's so many good videos on that, and that will make this video unnecessarily long if I show you that. But once we get this all separated, the other thing too is you want to make sure and mark everything, what came from the front of the machine and the back. This came from the front here because it's got that roll pin that went through the middle of it. But this piece might be the same on both ends, but I'm just marking both of these front once I get this U-joint taken apart here, and I got everything cleaned off, and I'm marking it with a paint pen. And then I'll show you, once I got this apart, how we're going to drive that shaft back in. The other thing too, the drive shaft that came off of this, it's 1 1/4 inches, so 1.25 inches outside diameter. The tube that came off was actually 100 thousandths thickness around, and I ended up buying 1/8 inch. They didn't have 100 thousandths thickness, so this one actually isn't quite 1/8 of an inch. It's a 120 wall. But anyway, that should do the job. But we're going to take this apart now. All right, so we got our U-joint out of there. Now we got to find us a socket that's deep enough and not quite 1.25 inches across. I think this measured 1.10 across or something. Now we're just going to hammer that out of there, and then we'll be able to put our new drive shaft in. You can see that one's coming out of there. The last one was kind of difficult, but this one's hammering out pretty easy. There you go. Now we're going to check these surfaces on the inside and make sure nothing's hoopa-jooped up, and really on these too, because sometimes as you take a U-joint out, stuff gets messed up. And the way I deal with that is I take something called a split shaft. This is a tool I made, but you can buy these. This is just an old push rod, and I took a Dremel and cut a notch in it, and basically that notch is just for emery cloth or a strip of coarse sandpaper, and you can roll that up in there and then chuck this in your drill, and then it makes like a little bitty flap disc to get inside that shaft if that needs cleaned up, because we don't really want to be spraying a bunch of oils and stuff down in there because we don't want to affect our weld. I'm a bad enough welder as it is. I don't need to add any issues to it. So we'll get all these cleaned up. We'll brake clean everything, non-chlorinated brake clean of course, because we're going to be welding on it. My old shaft measured 47 3/4 for the length of the shaft itself. Generally for a drive shaft, you measure from the center of this hole to the center of the hole on the other side for the drive shaft, not further out on the U-joint, but center of this to the center of the other. But I just wanted the length of that shaft itself when I ordered the steel, and I'll cut it 47 3/4, put each end flush with this. The other thing too, I'll show you some of this, but these things have to be phased correctly. So when I lay this out, that one's gonna have to be like that. And this one's gonna have to be in the same exact orientation. This is one other thing I'm doing to help get as good of a weld as I can. And I'm using a carbide bit in my drill or air grinder or whatever you got. And we'll get a taper in here so we can get a little bit better weld penetration around this when we get the shaft in there. So we got these cleaned up. I got like a taper here I'm happy with to run a bead in there. And I found one issue as I try to get the shaft inside these ends. When I pull these out, the end on this side actually was 1.245 in outside diameter, and then this end was 1.25. So I had to go to the grinder and taper this down around the circumference a little bit. Okay, so we got this phased in. I found some sockets that fit really tight in there, fortunately. This side's almost perfect. And I clamped them down to my workbench so they sit flat. I'm not clamping them tight because if I clamp it too tight, it's gonna torque over potentially. So I get it just so it sits flat. And same on this one. This one's got a little slop in it, but I'm gonna call that good enough. The left side's already been tacked in, or the front side. This is the rear. I got my shield on. I'm hoping that'll keep weeds and stuff from tangling around this front drive shaft. Now we're gonna tack this side in, and then we can move that shield down a little more and put our final welds in. Okay, it's all together. Unfortunately, that's my good weld down there. The other side's pretty terrible, but hey, it is what it is. I got it together. Fortunately, it's only about 30 horsepower, so hopefully this will hold together. I tried to patch this where it broke with some rubber. That's not gonna work. I'm gonna see if I can fuse that plastic back together. Might end up just cutting this shield off of there, but looks like it was successful. It's the right length. It's straight now. Everything's phased close enough for me, and I'll get those U-joints back together and mount it back on the tractor.